Technology of the future is here, and it's getting insane. Technological advancement in recent years has gotten pretty crazy. Amazing inventions provide us with incredible advantages. Let's get started. Nuclear fusion may sound post-apocalyptic and scare some. However, it may just possibly be our best shot at creating a limitless and environmentally sound energy supply. By definition, nuclear fusion is the process of creating the nucleus of an atom by fusing two smaller nuclei into one. While this doesn't seem too crazy, the reality is that this could really be a big deal, because the nuclei typically stay in their respective atoms. So, when they're collided together at extremely high speeds in extremely hot conditions, they can overcome the forces that keep them apart and fuse into one particle, releasing a massive amount of heat energy in the process. While this has been accomplished, the difficulty now is to create a nuclear fusion reaction that creates more energy than it takes initially. This is crucial because, if successful, it would enable humans to produce an unlimited supply of energy that emits no carbon dioxide and only very small amounts of nuclear waste. Currently, the technology has slowly been making progress. Recent experiments seem to show that this positive net energy transfer is completely feasible. However, only time will tell if nuclear fusion technology will move forward quickly enough to be successful. This next one is intriguing. Graphene is a hexagonal lattice of carbon atoms that are only one atom thick. That is very, very thin. Graphene is the building block of graphite, which is used in things like pencil tips, but it's also an amazing substance on its own. It has a lot of other amazing properties that have earned it a reputation as a wonder material. At one atom thick, graphene is the thinnest material that we are currently aware of. It's also super strong, about 200 times stronger than steel. Graphene is also a great conductor of both electricity and heat. It can absorb light in really intriguing ways and has the potential to revolutionize solar technology along with battery technology. It's a material that could honestly change the world because it could be used in almost any industry. Graphene has also found its way into consumer electronics, such as top-of-the-line smartphones that use graphene film cooling technology to mitigate heat. Ford Motor Company uses graphene in its 2019 F-150 and Mustang cars. Ford used graphene-reinforced foam for noise reduction. When mixed with foam, Ford says the parts are 17% quieter, 20% stronger, and 30% more resistant to heat. That's pretty cool. Well, except for the Mustang, where loud is proud. The search continues for the holy grail of energy. Could hydrogen fuel cells be the answer? Let's take a look. The chemical energy of hydrogen is used by a hydrogen fuel cell to generate electricity. It's a clean source of energy with only electricity, heat, and water as byproducts. Fuel cells can have multiple uses, from transportation to emergency backup power. They can power large systems such as a power plant or as small as a laptop. Hydrogen fuel cells are superior to traditional combustion-based technologies because they're far more efficient and they put out less pollution. Hydrogen fuel cells only give off water. They don't exhaust carbon dioxide or other harmful gases into the air. They have less moving parts than combustion technologies. Therefore, fuel cells are also quieter during operation. There are several methods available today to produce hydrogen fuel, such as solar-powered systems that use light to create hydrogen. Another method is electrolysis, which is used to divide water into oxygen and hydrogen. An electrolyzer is a device that uses electricity to split the water molecule, creating hydrogen and oxygen gas, doing the opposite of a hydrogen fuel cell, instead of harnessing the energy from hydrogen molecules like a fuel cell does. You just need an endless supply of water. Wonder where could we find that? Man-made stars altering the sky? Sounds crazy. However, out of 6,000 stars that can now be seen with the naked eye from Earth, there are some that are easier to spot and have special meaning. Sailors have used the Polaris or North Star to help them find their way for thousands of years because it seems to stay in the same place in the Northern Hemisphere. As our reliance on space technology increases, hundreds of new satellites are launched each year. Even though most of us will only view them for a brief moment when they pass over our heads, they are already congesting the sky and complicating astronomers' views as they attempt to observe the night skies. Russian startup Start Rocket has said that they want to send up to 300 small satellites with retractable reflective sails into low Earth orbit. Once they get there, they can be put together like pixels on a screen to make company logos look like star-like constellations as the sun shines on them. Oh boy! It would mean that for about 6 minutes every night, we'd look up and see the first constellations that were branded for business. Oh, great. I don't know how you feel about that, but an astrophysicist at the University of Cambridge says that advertising has reached stratospheric heights, and boy, she's nailed it there. Gina Halabai says, "I'm 100% against this space pollution and commercialization of the night sky." And Gina, I agree with you 100%. No thanks. No space spam glowing constellations over my head every night. Will we find it? The race for better battery technology is heating up. Lithium metal battery researchers have made a promising battery for electric cars that last longer than ever before. This is a big step towards the goal of making batteries for future electric cars that are lighter, cheaper, and last longer. That's been a pretty big drawback to electric cars. So far, the damn things have to be recharged more often than a 10-year-old burner phone. These batteries are also looked on as a key step toward a more environmentally sound technology. And one solution that could really help battery technology here is the lithium metal battery. It has almost twice as much power and weighs less than the lithium-ion batteries that are typically used. The combination would make it possible to create an electric automobile that is lighter and has a greater range on a single charge. It's a big step forward for a technology that has a ton of potential, but lithium metal technology still isn't ready for the big time. Even though lithium-ion batteries used in electric cars today hold less energy, they have longer life, usually up to 1,000 charges compared to about 600 for lithium metal at best. However, cars using lithium-ion won't be able to go as far on a single charge as they could with lithium metal batteries that work well, but progress is being made all the time. While we're at it, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the bell button to stay abreast of the latest and greatest tech. Will Star Trek replicators become a reality? The technology behind 3D printing is advancing quickly and seems to be the pioneer. With 3D printing, solid, three-dimensional items are created from digital files using less material than conventional techniques. You can create very intricate forms. Early on, 3D printing was primarily useful for producing prototypes and one-off items, but it's now swiftly evolving into a production technology. Currently, the business sector is where 3D printing is in most demand. According to Acumen Research and Consulting, the 3D printing industry will have a staggering $41 billion market by 2026. Car manufacturers have long utilized 3D printing. Automobile manufacturers are printing fixtures, jigs, tools for spare parts, and even components for the finished product. Because 3D printing allows for on-demand production, there is less inventory on hand and the design to production cycle is shorter. Thus, this technology will permanently alter the way we produce things. Who knows? Perhaps you'll be able to print a TV or your own car in the future. Einstein called the quantum world spooky action. Quantum computing is a branch of computer science that uses the ideas of quantum theory. Quantum theory describes how energy and matter behave at the atomic and subatomic levels. Electrons and protons, which are subatomic particles, are used in quantum computing. Quantum bits, or qubits, allow these particles to be in both 1 and 0 states at the same time. Theoretically, qubits that are linked can exploit the interference between their wave-like quantum states to perform calculations that might otherwise take millions of years. That's pretty spooky. Classical computers use a stream of electrical pulses known simply as ones and zeros in a binary way to store information in bits compared to quantum computing. This limits how much they can do. Quantum computing can go through a large number of possible outcomes and find possible answers to complex problems and challenges. Information is stored in qubits in quantum computers, while bits are used in traditional computers. Qubits store information in a quantum state that uses 0 and 1 in a way that works in more than one dimension. Some of the largest companies in the world are looking into it because it's got so much computing power and it's expected to have a large impact on the market. Quantum computing could make a big difference in finance, security, military affairs, and intelligence, also drug design, discovery, and more. Likewise, aerospace design utilities like nuclear fusion, polymer design, machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data search, and digital manufacturing. That's a whole bunch of words to say this will change everything. This next one is right out of a sci-fi movie. Powered exoskeletons. Yeah, okay, I went one of these because if you're honest, chances are that you wanted to be a superhero at one time or another. While this was impossible in the past, there's an emerging technology that could allow just about anyone to be as strong as the Hulk or as fast as the Flash. Powered exoskeletons are essentially mobile machines that humans can wear over various parts of the body. They make use of features such as motors, servos, and hydraulics to augment the use of one's own body parts, essentially turning regular human capabilities into superhuman abilities. For example, through the use of neurotransmitters and special muscle supports, there's a feeling that an exoskeleton could make someone a superb piano player that could go beyond the sphere of normal human performance. Likewise, it is also thought that a powered exoskeleton could make it so a human could run through the forest at 21+ miles per hour without stopping for an entire day. Since these exoskeletons are being funded by big corporations, it should be no surprise that they're currently being developed with one purpose in mind: work. As an example, there's one being developed to allow nurses to be on their feet all day without getting tired. Also, another to allow those working in industrial settings to lift heavier weight than they could normally lift in regular circumstances. So, while these exoskeletons are pretty cool, they could be a major ethical problem. Since these things are essentially being built so workers can work harder, longer hours, this could essentially lead to workers becoming little more than robots that accomplish tasks for hours on end daily. But despite the serious moral dilemma, progress continues on these exoskeletons, and it's likely that they may be the future of labor. What could be worse? Not watching another of our videos? Go on, you know you want to.